can't believe Festivus is over.
I know. But we aired our grievances.
Yeah, you fought your father.
It took a while, but he went down.
He's an old man, Vinny.
Hey, he wrote the check, and I cashed it.
The aluminum pole is back in the crawl space until next year. It's just, I don't know. I'm so depressed.
Yeah, once the button falls off, that's it.
What are we going to do now, Vinny?
Hey, Matt, it's the listeners.
Oh my God, you're right. It's a Festivus miracle.
Here's to feeling good all the time.
My name is George. I'm unemployed and I live with my parents.
Hey, you know what would make a great coffee table book? A coffee table book about coffee tables.
I don't have a square to spare. I can't spare a square.
But I don't want to be a pirate!
Hello, and welcome to Seincast, a retrospective on all 180 episodes of Seinfeld, being hosted by two guys who can barely run their own lives. My name is Vinny.
My name's Matt.
Hello, buddy.
Hey, happy belated Festivus.
Yes, it came and went.
I know, can you believe it?
Another year, another dollar. That makes no sense.
Don't worry about it. I do like to celebrate Festivus every year with watching the strike. That is a must. I like to call you up. Just complain, you know? Well, pretty much every time I talk to you, but...
We aired our grievances in our own way.
One thing we have yet to do, though, we have not fought each other. Is that something we need to get on the docket for next year?
Sure. Maybe the first televised Seincast. Broadcast on the internet is me and you fighting.
Yeah.
Mono or Baldo? Actually, you're mono. I'm bald. Never mind.
Oh. Well, happy belated Festivus to you, Vinny, to everyone out there. Hope everyone had a good one. We had a great time at Seinfeld Festivus Trivia in the city last night. What a blast that was.
Oh, yeah. How'd that go?
It was great. Met a lot of fans of not only Seinfeld, but of the podcast, which was awesome. Anyone out there that would love to play some Seinfeld trivia in the New York area, check out triviaad.com for any upcoming events. I've got 3 going on in January, so I'll let you know those dates in the coming weeks. But yeah, it's a wonderful time to get together with like-minded Seinfeld fans, little Seinfeld trivia.
Matt ran some of the questions with me prior to running the show, and man, he threw some stumpers in there where I feel like it's on the tip of my tongue, but I just can't get it. And then once he gives me the answer, I'm like, it's right there.
There's that voice.
It was fun. I love that voice.
Well, let's move on to some exciting Seinfeld news this week.
Exclamation point.
Hey, I got news for you.
Great news. All right, I got news. You ready?
It seems like just yesterday we got the lineup for the guests on season 6 of Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee. Well, we got the guest list for season 7.
What do you got?
Well, we got Will Ferrell, which is pretty exciting.
That's a good get.
Mm-hmm. One I did not even consider, actually, when we were just, spitballing. Steve Martin.
A titan of comedy.
Yeah, that is royalty right there. 2 comedians I've never heard of here. We've got Kathleen Madigan, and you might have to help me on this last name, Sebastian Maniscalco?
That's what I would have said.
Okay.
I apologize if we butchered it, but that's, I think, how it is pronounced.
Now, I didn't have time to check out Kathleen or Sebastian's work online. Have you heard of them before?
I've heard of Kathleen before. She's like a writer-producer, and I've heard her on some podcasts before, but she's fun. And she's like a who's who among comedians. I just don't know her in the mainstream.
Right.
And Sebastian, he's come to DC Improv before, but I have yet to see him.
Okay, cool. Well, I like that we're getting some comedians that we're not that familiar with. You know what I mean?
Oh, I love it. That's what podcasts, are all about, is when you discover these comedians who fly under the radar, and then you're exposed to a whole new level of talent. So it's nice that Jerry's putting some people on the map that may not be in the mainstream.
Absolutely. And then you got Gary Shandling, whatever.
Ouch.
No, I'm just kidding. There's something about Gary Shandling where I just want to make fun of him. I mean,
that's Gary Shandling type humor.
Yeah.
It's very pathetic the way he comes off. One of my favorite Gary Shandling moments is the DVD for I'm Telling You for the Last Time, Jerry's stand-up album. Jerry's putting all these pieces of paper and Post-it notes and little, scratch paper in this casket because he's simulating, I'm throwing away, all my jokes. This is the last time I'm going to do them. They're burying them. I'm going to start all this new material.
It's a funeral setting, pretty much.
Exactly. You're right. George Carlin's there. And
Robert Klein is also there.
Yep. And Gary Shandling reaches into the casket and picks up this piece of paper, and it's got a joke on it. And they read it aloud. They share a laugh. And Gary asks Jerry, hey, can I have this one? He wants to take it with him. And Jerry says no.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Are you familiar with the Gary Shandling show, or It's Gary Shandling?
I didn't have HBO growing up, so no.
Right. I've seen clips of it, and I have a feeling, since we're such huge Seinfeld fans, huge Curb fans, that would be right up our alley. So I think, during the off season, we should check it out.
Mm-hmm. Let's do it.
And then there's one last guest, none other than
Barack Obama, Barack Obama.
Oh, perfect. What's going down? I was hoping you would do that. I thought we were going to say it, but it's even better.
Yeah, it's better when Leon speaks for us.
Oh, yeah.
That was sort of the little teaser at the end of the season 7 trailer. Jerry, kind of driving past the Capitol, and then he pulls up in front of the White House. And they did this funny little skit where, typically every episode opens with audio of Jerry calling the comedian, hey, you want to get together, get some coffee? And they're like, sure. Same thing.
That's huge.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. Should be really interesting. What a get.
Well, you could have had any president there for that matter, like you said earlier. And it'd be really interesting to have a comedian go up against a politician and then just kind of share a laugh and share a coffee.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I have a feeling that the Barack Obama episode will kick off the season on December 30th on Crackle. Could totally be wrong. It might be Will Ferrell instead. I think he is a big enough name to draw in, large audience. But looking at this from Crackle's point of view, it seems like you want to lead with Barack Obama. You don't want to save that one for last.
Right.
But we'll see in a week or so. Pretty exciting though, right? You gonna check in for season 7?
Absolutely. Great lineup. And I actually want to go back and watch the old ones now to kind of freshen up because I forgot that, Julia was on, Amy Schumer, all these great comedians. And I may have missed one here or there. So I'm going to go rewatch the first 6 seasons.
Right on. Well, I'm going to include the trailer in our show notes. So if you haven't seen it yet, check it out there. Let's move on to other business here. You can email us at seincast@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram. Also, if you'd like to support the show, we have 2 options for you. You can just go over to iTunes, leave us a rating and review. We'd really appreciate it. Also, you can donate to the show. Head over to Tumblr and look for the tab that says Donate. Thank you so much to everyone who's donated to the show so far. Vinny, what episode do we have this week?
Episode 13 of Season 5, The Marine Biologist, written by Ron Haig and Charlie Rubin. Never heard of these guys before. Directed by Tom Schronis and originally airing February 10th, 1994.
I was blown away to find out that Charlie Rubin and Ron Haig wrote this episode.
Me too.
Not because I know them so well, but I had no idea who they were.
This being one of the most classic episodes of all time, arguably, I thought it was going to be a Larry David or a Peter Melman or a Larry Charles. But, the Fab 4 or 5 that we always talk about, I never heard of these guys, and I guess I never paid attention, which is on me. So I apologize.
Who are you apologizing to?
Ron and Charlie.
Yeah, so let's talk about Ron's track record here.
And let me preface this by saying you may not have heard of these guys, but you've definitely seen some, if not all, of their work.
Right, and it's not like their resume is huge, but the stuff
it's quality.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, they first teamed up as writers on the Carol Burnett Show, which was, let's be honest, a little before our time. Mm-hmm. But in the early 90s, they both wrote on In Living Color, which is a show both of us love. Ron, in particular, also wrote for 2 fantastic Nickelodeon cartoon shows. You got Ren and Stimpy and Rocko's Modern Life.
Yep.
He also wrote some amazing episodes for The Simpsons. I just list a few of my favorites here. You got Homer's Phobia. That's the one when John Waters guest stars and Homer is afraid that he might be turning Bart gay. Great one. He also did Miracle on Evergreen Terrace. That's a great Christmas episode if anyone is in the spirit to watch that one. But one of my absolute favorites is Mayor to the Mob. That is one that stars none other than Mark Hamill as himself. And another just wonderful episode. So I was so happy and not surprised that these guys, Ron and Charlie, who wrote on In Living Color, Carol Burnett, Simpsons, Nicktoons, wrote this episode. It all makes sense.
It's also worth noting that both Ron and Charlie have a little something to do with the Fusilli Jerry episode.
That's right. They were credited with the Kramer Assman license plate story idea.
I have that very license plate hanging in my apartment.
Oh, nice.
Thank you, buddy. That was a gift from you.
Yeah.
Ron Haig and Charlie Rubin are also credited as program consultant on 21 episodes of Seinfeld.
Okay, so they had some sort of presence, during season 5, and obviously when they left, I guess, at the end of season 5, they at least threw that story idea out there of Kramer's Assman license plate. I gotta say, it really bums me out that we didn't get more from these two.
Yeah, because this is a monster episode. Spoilers through and through. This is one of the best Seinfeld episodes of all time. And I would love to see more come from these guys because this was a brilliantly written episode.
Mm-hmm. And, just going through their rap sheet earlier, it just seemed like these guys, everything they did, I love. So I just want more of that, essentially. But
yeah. Well, we touched on Ron, but here, Charlie Rubin, he was primarily Ron's writing partner, but Charlie Rubin also worked on Law & Order Criminal Intent, as well as The Jon Stewart Show.
Well, one little bit of trivia here. Tom Sharonis, the director of Seinfeld episodes season 1 through 5, his son, Scott, is a marine biologist.
Small world.
Let's talk about golf a little bit, Vinny. Golf. You're a golfer.
I dabble.
But wait, hang on a second. If you own your own clubs, that makes you a golfer, right?
All right, I'm a golfer.
Just admit it.
All right, that's what I said.
I only say that because I relate to Michael Richards in this episode. Michael Richards, despite the Kramer character golfing pretty much throughout Seinfeld, there's an entire episode about golfing the caddy.
Yeah.
Michael was a terrible golfer. I think he still is a terrible golfer.
Well, he had never golfed. That was something that Larry David gave to that character.
Right. Larry David being an avid golfer. So I think that was something he wrote for the character, hoping Michael would pick it up, but obviously he didn't. I don't think that was very difficult for him to miss the ball, when he's swinging on the beach. The golf clubs that Kramer used in the episode actually belonged to a prop guy, Stan Ascot. Apparently Michael actually broke a few of them. Is that easy to do?
Well, if you're pissed off, you could easily break some golf clubs, but if you're swinging them wildly as if a Kramer would, I could imagine them easily being broken. As well as he did throw the bag down and then kicked it with a lot of gusto. So
That's
that could
true.
also have been when they broke.
Right. Good point. And
I'm hoping those were prop golf clubs, not ones that Stan Ascot actually played with.
I thought those things were like, titanium.
Well, you saw the
make
JFK
the space shuttle out of them.
Yeah. You saw the JFK golf clubs got mangled.
So there's that great shot of Michael or Kramer hitting some golf balls into the ocean. Larry David and Tom Sharonis actually took turns hitting some balls, and there was a great image of Larry doing that, taking a swing.
Yes, there's the footage of him, and he's got such a great golf swing. You see it more on curb, but this is young Larry, hitting him in the ocean and smooth.
Hey, there's a connection with Barack Obama being a guest on Comedians in Cars. Larry has been golfing with him, I think,
That's
several
true.
times. Yeah,
You're right.
Well, let's talk about the beach since we're there right now.
The beach.
Originally, Larry David wanted a whale on the beach that George would walk out to save. So they were trying to find a way. Hey, how can we get a whale on the beach? Joan Van Horn, the line producer, suggested that they rent the whale from Free Willy, which I think had just come out that past summer in '93. Okay. So the message, basically, the idea was one of the Castle Rock producers would call Warner Brothers and see if they could rent the whale. Do you think the actual whale, Keiko, or something else?
I would assume the actual whale. If
Me
you're
too.
saying Free Willy, I'm thinking the actual whale, but I think the Rhines got crossed.
Yes. You see the Rhines got crossed?
Did I?
Yeah. Of course, they did not want a real whale to put on the beach. They wanted the mechanical whale. However, there was a miscommunication. They were denied access, obviously, to the real whale. Apparently, they ran out of time, and they had to resort to using some like digital imagery, some CGI, and they created a fake whale, and they kind of painted it on the surf, and apparently it looked really, really good. Even Larry was impressed by how good it looked. But at some point in the edit room, Larry's there during every edit. They have that shot, classic shot of George with his pant legs rolled up, his sleeves rolled up, just marching out,
trudging into the ocean.
Yes. Larry looked at that shot and he realized, we don't even need a whale. All we need is that shot. It speaks for itself. It works perfectly. So they spent all this money and time creating a whale, and Larry just decided to cut it. So,
and we don't have footage of that. I would love to see what this digital whale looked like, to hear how impressive it was, especially back in 1994. But unfortunately, there's no evidence of that footage.
Hopefully, it's a step up from the rock climbing blue screen from.
Hey,
last week.
I like that rock climbing blue screen. You leave that alone.
I imagine it would just be like a hump, like in the background. Nothing.
Yeah. To mix it with the water like that? Yeah, I wonder. And would it show George in the same shot as this whale? Is he fishing the ball out?
So I would imagine, that shot of him walking out into the water, it's kind of at an angle. You know what I mean? I feel like it would be more like parallel with the ground. So you see George walking out to this large mass kind of just in the water.
Okay.
Speaking of that ending, let's go one step further here and talk about, I would say, what the episode is all about. And it's that monologue George has in the final, 3 minutes of the show. I have a few clips here from Jerry and Jason talking about how that all came together. Do you want to set this up here?
Larry came up with this idea to tie the whale storyline and Kramer's golfing storyline with the golf ball together. And Larry and Jerry got together and had a late night rewrite the night before filming.
Night before we shot, we wrote that whole long fish story for Jason. And we were so excited. That was one of our rare late night rewrites. We really did very little of that. And I remember Larry and I having a real laughing fit writing that speech.
Larry came over, he said, "You're a quick study, right?" And I said, "Yeah, what do you need?" He said, "I got an idea. Can you handle like a page monologue?" I said, "Yeah, probably, sure." He said, "You won't be afraid to try it just in front of the audience because we're not going to be able to rehearse it." And I said, "Let's go."
We were so worried that Jason was not going to be able to learn all this in one day. Of course, Jason was a master quick study.
You are seeing it. It's a rehearsal. You're seeing a rehearsal in front of an audience.
Does that blow your mind that something this classic, was just written, not on the fly, but I mean, come on, 12 hours before filming?
It was, it wasn't in the original script. Larry came up with it on the spot, pretty much. But even, that's one thing in itself. But to have Jason read it for the first time and deliver these lines for the first time in front of his colleagues and a live studio audience,
film rolling, like.
Oh man, and he nailed it on the first take. That was it. They were done with the show.
Yeah, it's really incredible. Jerry would actually go on to say in that interview, if you watch his face, he's actually not in the scene, like present as the character. He's actually trying to like mentally encourage Jason to remember the speech they worked so hard on. Mm-hmm. He knows all the lines since he wrote it with Larry, which is kind of funny because I imagine Jerry would even have a hard time keeping his mouth from moving.
Right. Michael's even said, and I believe Julie as well, that Jason has almost a photographic memory when it comes to memorizing his lines. So it makes sense that he'd be able to read this, have it under his belt, and then get it in the first take.
Right. Jerry said in that clip, he's a master of quick study, and that definitely comes from his theater background. Now, what do you say about that laughter? Because this is one of the rare moments on the show where the audience takes over the scene.
Yeah.
It's not just a matter of applauding when someone enters. Yeah. It's the laughter goes on for so long. The actors have nothing to do but just look at each other.
And enjoy the moment. It's like hitting that high note when a comedian's on stage, and that's when they know it's time to walk off, and they've closed out the show, they killed it, and that's exactly what happened here in this scene.
Like a wall, like getting hit by a truck is how that laugh came pouring in.
Not only was that one of the biggest laughs in the history of the show, if not the biggest, that is one of my favorite perfect moments. That, along with Terry Hatcher, and they're spectacular, and Julia, and they're all laid out for you, being great exit. We didn't have that many of those things that are really just that capper.
That is on par with, you mean the panties your mother laid out for you? That the crowd erupts, and Julia said in her, when she had that moment, it was electric, and she was so giddy behind that door. And this time we get to kind of see Jason have this great moment, this killer blow.
Between those two, between the Terry Hatcher, they're real and spectacular, and the Elaine panties line, I feel like the Elaine panties line trumps that.
Yeah, but who wins between Elaine panty line and, is that a Titleist?
Yeah, I think Titleist wins just because the moment when the audience erupts is not taking us out. There's still that little bit of dialogue between Kramer and George. Whereas Elaine's line, she closes that door and it freezes a little bit until you see the credits.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give it to the Marine Biologist, but it's pretty hard to pick my favorite between the two. I think I lean more towards the panties line because it's Elaine getting the upper hand on Jerry. I really like that. But I know that this scene, my friend, is one of your absolute favorites throughout the entire series, right?
Absolutely. I have a quote of this on my wall, in addition to my ass man plate. The sea was angry that day, my friends, like an old man trying to send back soup in a deli.
There you go. And what room is that in?
It's in my living room.
Oh, living room. Okay, because each room has a Seinfeld sign, right?
Correct. Well, it's kind of my living room leading into my kitchen. I have that. And then in my bathroom, I can't spare a square. Mm-hmm. I don't have a square to spare. And in my bedroom, master of my domain.
Okay.
It fits.
Yes. It's kitschy. Now, even though they say that Jason did this all in one take, there is definitely some editing, between the shots of the characters. Not just cutting back and forth, but I think trimming down the time. I can't imagine he delivered this monologue in the real time that it went down in the episode. But this is one of those raw, uninterrupted moments. Later in the show, like season 7, 8, and 9, I think they relied a little too much on the editing. Mm-hmm. So it never feels like you're getting like that genuine audience reaction.
It's organic here.
Yeah, and I can't really think of an episode that ends on such a high note, can you?
Other than the 3 that Jerry alluded to, no.
Yeah, so this is really one for the books. Speaking of editing, this episode was shot around this time, Christmas time in 1993. It was being edited during the Northridge earthquake in mid-January of 1994, and apparently the editing trailer on the backlot was turned over and practically fell down a hill, almost going into the LA River. And in order to continue editing this episode, the editor, Morgan Sackett, had to climb down to the overturned trailer and retrieve all of the editing materials to finish the episode.
That's impressive.
Yes. So
thank you, Morgan Sackett, for doing that. Much appreciated.
I love these nature shows. I'll watch any kind of nature show, and it's amazing how you can always relate to whatever they're talking about. Like you're watching the African dung beetle, and you're going, "Well, his life is a lot like mine." And you always root for whichever animal is the star of the show that week. Like if it's the antelope, and there's a lion chasing the antelope, you go, "Run, antelope, run! Use your speed, get away!" Right? The next week it's the lion. And then we go, "Get the antelope, eat him, bite his ass! Trap him, don't let him use his speed!"
Hey, look at that. Jerry swore in his stand-up routine. It's a mild swear, but I like seeing edgy Jerry.
Jerry?
But I do like the stand-up a lot. I feel with them. You do watch these nature shows, and you do root for the animal of the week.
Do you ever feel like you can relate to the animals on these nature shows?
Yeah, but I'm more of the sloth-like creature who's just going to be lazing in a tree, happy to be alive.
I was thinking the same thing. Absolutely. This stand-up does seem a little bit out of place. Last week, during our coverage of the Stall, that episode opened with stand-up all about the whale, which seems perfect to close out this week's episode. And just to remind viewers, this episode ran a little long, which is obvious, the Jason monologue at the end. So that stand-up was moved forward a week to the Stall. kind of stinks because I feel like this episode needs, I don't know, stand-up that's a little more appropriate to the episode, but who really gives a shit?
Let me argue in favor of this stand-up. This one does talk about nature shows. We're dealing with nature and the wonderful fish that is the whale.
Mm-hmm. Mammal.
It's a mammal. But if I had to choose between an intro stand-up or closing stand-up about whales or Jason's monologue, I'm going with Jason's monologue. So, and I also like kind of how last week's episode kind of sets up. Ooh, whales are coming. You know what I mean? Like it kind of plants the seed in the audience member's head. I would hope.
I think they should have scrapped the Jason monologue. They should have put in some more stand-up. I think that's what the show's all about.
What are you, an idiot?
This is my least favorite. Yeah, okay. Anyways, first scene of the episode, we're at Jerry's apartment. Elaine is on the phone. Jerry is bothering her, holding out his prize T-shirt. He calls him
Golden Boy.
Yes. 6 years he's had it. Always the first one he wears out of the laundry, but the collar, it's fraying. Golden Boy is slowly dying. It's a tragic figure, Vinny, you know. Each wash brings him one step closer. Can't let him soak in the sink with some woolite.
No! He's the Iron Man because he goes out there and he plays every game. Wash, spin, rinse, spin. You take that away from him, you break his spirit. I love this bit.
Yeah.
For some reason. It really stands out to me. Jerry seems to have this fascination with laundry and dry cleaning for that matter. And we already saw him get into some hijinks in The Revenge. Remember the concrete in the washing machine?
Sure.
Also, fluff and fold. He drops it off. He picks it up. It's a delight.
Mm-hmm. And let's go back all the way to the pilot.
Hit me.
Seinfeld Chronicles. You know,
he shrunk it. You're right.
Well, no. That's
damn.
That's something else. I think that's the stock tip. I can't remember. Seinfeld Chronicles. Remember, you can't over dry. You can't over wet.
Oh my goodness! How did I forget? It's getting late. That's why I forgot. Great pull, my friend.
It's all that. It was all that Hennigan's at Festivus.
Yeah, all right. I also like that he has this he has this regimen of Golden Boy being the first shirt that he wears. I wish only we could see him wear this shirt just once before it, spoilers, sadly passes on.
Yeah, sad. I feel like everyone has their Golden Boy, whether it's the first outfit you wear when you do a wash, or it's that, you know, trusty, reliable piece of clothing, never lets you down. Mm-hmm. I had a long-sleeved shirt, kind of a waffle print. Do you know that material?
Half sweater, half jacket.
I had it in 8th grade. I wore that thing up until my 25th birthday. And then it's a long time. But eventually the elastic gave way. It got kind of stiff, really uncomfortable, so I had to bury it in the backyard. But
that's tragic.
Yeah. Everyone has, I feel like, a Golden Boy, though, right?
Whatever you feel most confident in. So you wear it to death, which is why I have 4 of the same sweatshirt, multiple colors.
Nice.
So I look damn good in that sweatshirt.
Well, Elaine gets off the phone and is thrilled because Pendant is publishing a new book by famous Russian author Yuri Testikov, and she gets to work on it. She and Lippman are going to pick him up on Thursday in a limousine.
You want to borrow Golden Boy?
Now, here we go. One of Jerry's jokes goes way too far. He convinces Elaine that the original title for War and Peace was War, What Is It Good For? For the life of me, I can't figure out why Jerry does this. Because he doesn't just throw it out there as a joke. Elaine doesn't buy it at first. She's like, whatever, this is material.
Yeah, she is onto him. Her bullshit detector is spinning.
Right. Jerry keeps going, though, and he has more to add. No, the mistress... Tolstoy's mistress didn't like the title and insisted that he change it to War and Peace. I'm not kidding, Elaine. Like, this reminds me of whenever someone comes up to me and tells me a joke or, you know, lies about something. And I go, are you serious? And they say, yeah, I'm serious. No, really. Are you serious? Yes, I'm totally serious. And then I believe them. And they're like, I'm just kidding.
You gave them an out to come clean, and they didn't. So, yeah, that's a jerk move on Jerry's part.
Absolutely. To be fair, though, Jerry doesn't think this is going to go very far, right?
Yes, he doesn't assume that Elaine's going to go and, you know, share this tidbit with this Russian writer who was in the Gulag.
Like the greatest Russian author of the 20th century, pretty much.
Did Jerry dupe Elaine recently? I'm trying to think. Was there a previous episode?
You know what, Vinny? I feel like we brought this up a week or two ago, and everything just...
It's all a blur.
Yeah. Speaking of which, George enters.
You can't handle the truth.
What?
I'm working on my Jack Nicholson. You can't handle the truth. Hey,
you sound like you're holding back.
I know. I gotta go.
You got neighbors.
A topical reference in Seinfeld.
An odd one at that too.
I wonder how LD felt about that.
Well, Castle Rock produced A Few Good Men, so I guess there's some sort of inside joke maybe there, but I thought A Few Good Men was back in like 91. Maybe it was 92. I mean, not saying it's old news by the time this episode aired, but it seemed like something more appropriate for season 3, maybe season 4.
Well, we had the Hammer Time reference, way back when, which seems to have kind of fallen out of culture, Mm-hmm. But this line, "You can't handle the truth," seems to still permeate. Like, people know where that line's from.
Of course.
So this one actually still holds up, which is kind of cool.
And it is more about Jack Nicholson, not the movie. So
right.
It could be one of many Jack Nicholson lines.
He could have also said, "You make me want to be a better man."
Well, hang on a second.
I know it's later, but I like that line. Leave me alone.
I feel like, though, after George does that delivery, Jerry needs to do one of his nose pinches, like after the pretzel delivery line.
Keep looking for a GIF of that, so that when you send me a joke via text that sucks, I haven't got that yet, though.
Well, George brought some of his mail from home, or from his parents' house, since he doesn't want his mom opening it like she usually does. And interesting to note here that there's this throwaway line: George could maybe get his mom locked up for opening his mail. And I like whenever jail is brought up on this show, because that's the ultimate fate for our characters.
Mm-hmm, that's true.
I just like those throwaway lines that can connect to truly everyone's favorite episode, the finale.
They knew all along.
So Elaine is reading the alumni magazine. This is for which university?
Queens College. We find out here that they went to college together.
So what does Elaine read here? It's pretty good.
Jerry Seinfeld has appeared on David Letterman and The Tonight Show, and he did a pilot for NBC called Jerry that was not picked up.
That's beautiful.
Oh, man. What a funny way. Like, you read it on paper, you just think it wasn't picked up. But the way Elaine delivers it adds so much oomph to that joke.
And once again, only Julia could deliver it that way, because that's, I mean, that is the joke, that delivery, but that's also part of her talent, right? That rhythm she has to some of her lines.
And I also think, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I love any reference to the pilot, by the way. You know how much I love that episode.
Yeah, but I was going to say it's a great way for the show to kind of poke fun at itself, know? I love that about Seinfeld.
Jerry and George just smiling at each other and then looking down. Yeah,
they're so happy to hear this positive things being written about Jerry, and then it all comes crashing down. Elaine then goes on to ask George, "Hey, Georgie, how come you're not mentioned in this alumni article?"
He can't handle the truth.
So there we go. We now learn
two terrible Jack Nicholson impressions in one
episode.
Yes,
thank you.
You and me.
Good night, everybody. We learned that Jerry and George attended college together, so high school and college, best friends since the third grade. There was actually some dialogue here that was cut. I'm going to preface by saying I'm really upset that they cut this out. Jerry says, "Gee, I wonder whatever happened to Russell," and George responds with, "I wonder whatever happened to the raisins."
Oh, man.
This is referencing the pilot, which Elaine had just read from the alumni magazine. What a perfect way to bring season 4 into season 5, to have this connection and this great joke from the finale, two great jokes from the finale. Oh, it breaks my heart that it didn't make it in.
This might be the most painful dialogue that was cut from the episode. I wish they filmed this at least, so we'd get it maybe as a deleted scene on a DVD. But
and I think it's just a sign of the times that maybe the producers were like, "No, what if people didn't see the finale?" That kind of thing. In today's TV climate, like a Curb episode, that would absolutely be in there.
Right. We're of course alluding to Russell Dalrymple, who died. He drowned while trying to Greenpeace, right? Yeah.
Hey, at least Elaine respects him now.
That's true. And George, of course, wondering what happened to the raisins that Tom Pepper took.
And I'll do you one better. After George would have delivered that line, it would have been great if we smash cut to Tom Pepper still eating raisins out of the box.
That would be way too far.
Oh, come on. Work with me here.
13 episodes and we cut to Tom Pepper. I'm sure Larry Hankin would be like, yeah, sure. No problem. Well, Elaine heads out, and let's explain this scene just real quick. As she leaves, Kramer is going into his apartment, unlocking the door, and he kind of not smacks her, but pushes her accidentally with his golf clubs he's carrying. Mm-hmm. And
before you go, he's singing Johnny Yuma Was a Rebel yet again. He previously sang that song in The Watch when he was calling Dr. Reston on the phone.
That's right. And I think even before that, was it The Nose Job? It's when they go to an act break and Jerry, Elaine, and Kramer. God, Jerry, Elaine, and George look over, and Kramer's just leafing through a magazine.
I think you're right.
You know what I'm talking about?
I could have sworn Jerry said it once.
No, Johnny Yuma was a rebel.
There it is.
Ekman is a nut.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking.
Anyway, so he's got an electronic organizer to give to Elaine. He got it for opening a new account at the bank. She's thrilled with it. You know, she can keep track of phone numbers, addresses, appointments. It's got an alarm that beeps.
Hey, do you think when he went to the bank to get his free electronic organizer, did they greet him with a hello?
Yeah, there you go. That's why he's going to all these banks, setting up new accounts.
Oh, one other question. Is the only bank that's ever referenced in Seinfeld by name Chemical?
Chemical, yeah, I think so.
Okay, just curious.
George might have mentioned that bank he went to in mail-in bonding. Remember, he's got that change?
Yeah.
Maybe he mentions the bank then. You know, it is interesting to note that this is the first of 2 episodes where Kramer gives someone a faulty electronic organizer.
That's true. Now, we'll see the Willard in a future episode.
Yes. We kind of breeze through the dialogue in this scene, quote unquote, because something incredible happened in the original take for the scene. Vinny, you want to explain what happened to poor Julia?
Yeah, sure. Kramer is walking with his golf clubs, singing his Johnny Yuma song, and Elaine is coming out of Jerry's apartment. And Kramer is turning to open his door, and he whips the golf bag around, and he smacks Julia right in the face with the butt of his golf bag. And she actually got a shiner from this incident.
And you can actually hear the crew members react to it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, was a rebel.
Oh, all right?
Yeah.
You all right?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not all right.
It's funny, if you see that original scene and then you see the take that actually made it into the version, that version is so tame, and Kramer barely touches her.
Yeah.
It was actually, you see Michael kind of being tender, you know, to not injure her further. And he kind of clips her shoulder in the take they used in the episode.
Or he pushes her, kind of, you know, like the bag touches her and then he leans into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're back into Jerry's apartment. More foreshadowing here. George is going on about this fascinating whale segment on TV the other night. He's a huge fan of whales now, especially how these marine biologists communicate with the squeaks and the squeals.
What a fish.
It's a mammal.
Whatever. Hey, new tape recorder?
Hey, new sneakers? So, did you know about this, weird subplot with this bank?
It kind of occurred to me now as we're taking notes diligently for this episode that Jerry got a gift from the bank. They're giving out organizers. They're giving out tape recorders. What's with these banks?
I don't know. But yeah, Jerry and Kramer got new accounts at a bank and got all this free swag, I guess. And now our first clip of the episode. Very excited about this one. This is an all-time classic. Maybe not as classic as the last scene of the episode, but a classic nonetheless.
Hey! Who wants to have some fun?
I do.
Now, you just saying you want to have fun, or do you really want to have fun?
I really want to have fun.
I'm just saying I want to have some fun.
Right now, there are 600 Titleists that I got from the driving range in the trunk of my car. Why don't we drive out to Rockaway and hit them into the ocean? Now picture this. We find a nice sweet spot between the dunes. We take out our drivers, we tee up, and that ball goes sailing up into the sky, holds there for a moment, and then...
It's rare, but damn, is it a lot of fun when Michael gets a long read, like a monologue for him, especially that gulp at the end. It's the only other moment I can think of is when he has the I'm Batman. Now I'm driving the bus. That's his one monologue. But this one is wonderful. Mm-hmm. And I'd love to know how Jerry and Jason didn't burst out laughing when he did that. It was
Yeah. What is your gulp? How do you do it?
I can't do it justice. I can give you.
Yeah, can't do it.
I can't do it. Only Michael.
Love the setup to Michael's monologue as well. Now, are you just saying you want to have fun, or do you really want to have fun? Jerry, I really want to have fun.
I'm just saying I want to have fun.
Yeah. Come on.
Bring it back down, George.
Yes. It's perfect. I have to say, when I moved to New York back in like early 2007, my first month, I got invited to a party way out in Rockaway, and I can't tell you how excited I was to go out there.
I know you love that stuff.
Yeah. Middle of winter, the party was at night, but their condo was right on the water, and it was cool to kind of look out and be like, oh, that's where Kramer would be hitting his golf balls.
That'd be actually a good Seinfeld bucket list thing, is to go out to Rockaway and hit some balls.
Into the ocean. Okay, sorry. Next scene, we're on the street at an ATM. George headed to Monk's, but Jerry has to grab some cash from the ATM. And while he's at the ATM machine, there's this woman next to him.
Cash advance? Yes. No. Balance inquiry? No. Receipt? No. Processing? I won.
Wow. That was great.
Thanks. Hey, thank you.
Felt like I was there.
Hey, in some deleted dialogue, actually, before this moment happened, Jerry was starting the scene by turning to the man behind him and saying, "Excuse me, could you step back a little? It's a secret code." Jor-El.
Yeah, there you go.
Jinx, buy me a Coke.
Love it when that happens. So I like to think that I can pick out the CBS studio administration building. I did not realize that's where we were for the scene. This is cropped up when Jerry, George, and Kramer are dancing. When the murderer struck again. When Elaine comes out of the opera house in the Pez dispenser. This is that same brick building, just with some ATMs resting against it.
The infamous brick.
Yeah.
Doesn't Jerry seem like a 37-year-old little kid in that moment?
I never understood this scene from Jerry's perspective. Who does that to a complete stranger? Because, while he's doing the whole processing receipt, no, he's looking at the woman next to him.
Yeah. It's a race, and he's this competitive, what an obnoxious little kid. I admire how playful he is in this episode. And if you go back to the earlier scene, he's, playing funny with Elaine as well regarding the war. What is it good for? But I would imagine it's just him. He sees a pretty girl next to him, and this is his way of being flirty, but also just kind of playful.
Right.
He keeps things very light, That's
in his nature. I feel like if either of us did this in real life, someone would be the person next to him.
Yeah.
Yes.
The mace would come out.
Yes. I don't think anyone would find this charming in any way, but as Jerry walks away, the woman recognizes him, and turns out it's an old friend from Queens College.
Hey.
Diane DeCon. How long has it been?
Since college. That line gets another laugh, and that line also is very lighthearted, because he's making a joke. Because, the last time we did...
It's got a little bit of that smartass Jerry in it, too. Like
yes.
Real life smartass Jerry. Like, I just told you, it's been since college. So, like Elaine, she's read about Jerry's success in the alumni magazine, but hasn't heard anything about that goof-off George, and wonders, hey, did he get anywhere? Jerry... I don't really know what's going through Jerry's mind, but he says he did. And the field he really made it in was...
marine biology.
Yeah, he's specializing in whales. He's lowering their cholesterol levels. All that blubber is unhealthy.
It's the largest mammal on Earth, but as George says, they don't have to be. So Rosalind Allen plays Diane DeCon. She's the it girl, as we're going to find out.
Yeah.
She's from New Zealand, which is kind of cool. She starred in Santa Barbara, Three Men and a Little Lady. Hey, 1992, she was in a Jake and the Fat Man episode.
Oh, boy.
She was also in Children of the Corn 2, Naked Gun 33 and a Third. She played Bobby. Does that ring a bell?
No, yeah, I know the Naked Gun trilogy pretty well, but Bobby doesn't ring a bell. Oh, I think she's the prosecutor, one of the lawyers.
Okay.
Not sure if there's any Naked Gun 33 and a third fans out there, but.
And her last acting credit was in 2002, so she doesn't act anymore, apparently.
You know, the first Brooklyn Cyclones game that had a Seinfeld night back in 2014, she threw out the opening pitch.
Hey.
Or at least they had a lot of, like Seinfeld actors.
Alums, yeah.
Throw out the first pitch. But she was one of them. And it was totally random that she would be there.
Yeah.
And it was kind of cool, though, to see like she's still representing the time she spent on Seinfeld.
I actually really like this actress, and I like this character, Diane, the way she plays it. She's got like a real like dignity to her. She's real put together.
Yeah.
But even the way she asks Jerry, George was such a goof off. Did he ever get anywhere? Like, I know it's kind of putting down George, but at the same time, it's like she wanted George to succeed. She was hoping he would. As we'll see, they'll get together because she finds out his fake profession is quite charming. Quite interesting.
She obviously likes George. Why else would she ask about him?
How's
George? You're right, though. There is something about her, very dignified. I don't want to say mature, like old, but there's something
not old
about her that seems like she was an upperclassman to Jerry or George.
Yeah. One other bit of trivia regarding the character Diane DeCon, Wendy Malick, who we should all know from the Kiss Hello. She played Wendy in the Kiss Hello. With that beehive hairdo.
I like that hairdo.
Yeah. She also auditioned for the role of Diane DeCon.
I think they went with the right actress for this role, at least.
Well, she was meant to be Wendy, and Rosalind Allen was meant to be Diane.
Of course. We don't have to spend that much time on it, but why do you think Jerry lies for George, and why pick something as specific as marine biology?
I actually did want to touch on this. I think this is a really cool vehicle to have Jerry. George is always the one lying about his exploits, how he's an architect, blah, blah, blah. Now his best friend is putting on this facade for George. And I think it's because Jerry probably knows that George had a thing for this girl. Mm-hmm. And also the way that Diane kind of broaches, like we said earlier, what happened to George? He's always such a goof off. Did he ever amount to anything? Jerry wants her to be impressed by George. And that's what George would want. He would want to impress her. So Jerry is lying on George's behalf. Like he's got his friend's back.
Right. I mean, I guess the point I was getting at is, why would Jerry make such a big lie or such a huge leap for George's profession? As George points out later, I always wanted to be an architect. Maybe Jerry's not as good a liar, and the last thing they talked about was marine biology.
It was on his mind because George was raving about how much he loved whales, how impressive a field that marine biology was.
Right. I guess, I don't think Jerry uses the line in this episode, but really, I guess I screwed up,
He did, but George ended up, as we're going to see, kind of selling it reasonably well.
Yeah, that's true.
I do like this idea of your best friend kind of sticking up for you in the heat of the moment. And it's kind of the equivalent of one of your friends killing someone and then not turning them in.
Right.
Or snubbing an ex-girlfriend.
What do you say about a guy like this?
These are duties of the best friend.
Absolutely.
You're the friend.
So I guess ultimately Jerry is a good wingman, a good friend. By covering for George, he just might have gone in the wrong direction in terms of the occupation. And if he said George is an architect...
They might be married, these two.
Yeah, that's true. Well, let's cut over to Monk's. Jerry meets with George for lunch and tells him all about Diane. George is really smitten. He even lets out and... Did you catch that?
I like that.
He always had a thing for Diane, so you can imagine his response when Jerry says that she asked, "How's George?"
She said George? She remembered my name. Diane DeCon remembered my name. She was the it girl.
Yeah, she asked for your number. I think she's going to get in touch with you.
Okay, I'm telling you right now. If you're kidding around, I'm not going to be able to be a friend anymore. I'm serious about that. You got that?
I got no problem with that.
Good. Because if this is a lie, if this is a joke, if this is your idea of some cute little game, we're finished.
Expect a call.
Oh my God, he's not kidding.
Now, I should tell you. that at this point, she's under the impression that you're a
what?
A marine biologist.
A marine biologist?
Yes.
Why am I a marine biologist?
I may have mentioned it.
But I'm not a marine biologist.
Yes, I know that.
So?
Why, you don't think it's a good job?
I didn't even know it was a job.
Oh, it's a fascinating field.
But what if she calls me? What am I supposed to say?
Something that you can pick up in this scene, the timing between actors is just perfect. The pauses.
The back and forth and the flow of this dialogue, it seems so effortless. Of all the times that we've seen Jerry and George in the diner, just the two of them conversing.
Yeah.
This like epitomizes their relationship.
She's under the impression that you're a
marine biologist.
Yeah, like just that pause. It's just beautiful.
Why would she think that? Yeah, you heard it.
Yeah. So next scene, we're at the Costanzas, and here's how George handles it. He's on the phone with Diane, listing off some buzzwords here. Algae, I think, plankton. He also got back from a trip to the Galapagos Islands.
He was living with the turtles.
I love seeing George on the phone here, especially like dating casual George.
He's talked about that before, how, he's like, I'm unbelievable on the phone. On the date, they should just be the two people sitting there with phones. And no Apple, I saw.
Yeah, that's a good point.
He ditched the Apple and his notes. Did you notice, if you look at the end table next to the chair, there is a picture of a baby? Which I hope, for continuity's sake, is George as a baby, because as we saw in the Cigar Store Indian,
Sylvia,
yeah. Is that your kid? No, that's me. Oh, I've never seen somebody with baby pictures of themselves. Really, goes well with the rest of the house.
Yes.
So I thought that'd be a nice continuity if that was George.
Or maybe it was Aunt Baby.
She never would have made it.
So next scene, Elaine and Lippman are in a limousine with Yuri Testikov after picking him up at the airport. Testikov is going to go work in the hotel, away from all your little petty bickerings and interference.
Not bad.
Yeah, that is a little preview of all of the horrible Testikov impressions to come.
Tolstoy used to write in the village square. The faces inspired him.
He did not need inspiration. God spoke through his pen.
That is so true.
Yes.
Although, one wonders if War and Peace would have been as highly acclaimed as it was had it been published under its original title, War, What Is It Good For?
What?
Yeah, Mr. Lippman. It was his mistress who insisted that he call it War and Peace.
Elaine.
War, What Is It Good For? Absolutely nothing. Boom! Say it again. That's a song. They took it from Tolstoy.
No. Elaine.
War? What is it good
it's just
for?
her sense of humor.
No, it's not. That really is true.
What is that noise?
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
That noise!
It's
What
in
is
your
that
purse.
noise? It's traveling up my spine, into my brain.
Coming from your purse.
Oh, it must be my new organizer.
Yeah,
That noise.
Uh,
turn it off.
Right, I think it's this.
No, it's the button.
cannot
Elaine,
stand
it's
it.
the button at the top.
Okay.
The top.
Will you
No.
turn
Not
it
the-
off?
The one at the
I'm gonna
top.
work on that.
Yeah.
No,
Oh.
Yuri Testikov, the Russian writer, is played by actor George Murdoch. Unfortunately, he passed away in 2012. His first acting credit was in 1961. He was in a Twilight Zone ep, the original. He played Willie in The Dummy. Remember that episode?
I sure do. Well, Willie, I don't think is a person. I think he is a dummy. So it would probably be his voice.
So I'm the dummy. But yeah, he was in that. He was in the 1970s Battlestar Galactica TV show. He was in an episode of Benson, which is the show that Jerry eventually got fired on. Different episode. But in the particular episode of Benson that George Murdoch was on, Barney Martin was in there too.
Hey, look at that.
So that's kind of cool.
And Cliff Robertson was in The Dummy. He was also in Charlie with Barney Martin.
Barney Martin. George Murdoch was also in Star Trek V, The Final Frontier, Final Analysis. He was in the X-Files movie and TV show, and he was also in Orange County.
I love his performance as Yuri Testikov.
Yes.
He's not really one of my favorite single shots, on the series as a whole, but I just love his performance. It's just incredible.
I have the same thing in my notes. If you look at him as a whole, he's a despicable kind of character. He's mean to Elaine, mean to Jerry, and he's just a grump. But the way this guy plays it, I really enjoy his character. Like he's a good bad character to have on screen.
Absolutely. And I think there's it's more apparent in the hotel scene, but there's some parallels with Alton Bennis.
Yeah.
I think, especially when Elaine is interacting with him and just like the awkward tension.
The vodka.
The drinking, yeah, of course. But yeah, George Murdoch, man, just the best. Everyone should check out his rap sheet on IMDb and try to, I don't know, maybe pull up one of those old Twilight Zone episodes and give it a shot. Interesting enough, there's some deleted material from this scene, right?
That's right. Lippman asked Testikov if he needed anything, and Matt and I are going to reenact this role here. So Matt will be playing the part of Testikov.
This will not be a recurring segment on
Nope.
Seinfeld. I'm so sorry for the voices.
Once and
Can't do
only.
the voices.
So Lippman asked Testikov, do you need anything?
I need many things. Companionship, eternal youth, not to mention toothpaste.
And then Elaine over-anxiously says, oh, we've got a lot of toothpaste. I use Tom's. It's all natural. Tom? It's kind of annoying. I mean, who is he? Some guy with a beard up in Vermont? Come on.
I have never met this Tom, but I instinctively do not like him.
I think your Testikov sounds more like a soup Nazi. Just saying. Just saying.
I mean, Russian, Argentinian, same thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was god-awful. But I didn't realize back then in 1994, I guess, that it was such a like a trendy product, or at least out there, for people to judge those things.
Ouch. Nor did I. I thought it was like a 2000s and on thing.
Right. For those moments when you don't want the deodorant to work for you, try Tom's. Yeah, great scene. I'm glad we get more of Testikov later on in the episode.
There's one more thing I want to touch on before we leave to go to the next scene. We're only 10 minutes into this episode, and each character has a really cool story arc. We have Elaine with her beeping organizer and working with Testikov. George is lying to Diane and pretending to be a marine biologist. And Kramer, although he hasn't had much screen time, is hitting golf balls into the ocean. And he had that killer monologue earlier, that entrance. Notice what's Jerry's role in this episode? We don't know yet. He's really just been the setup guy to get all these stories in motion, but eventually his storyline will reveal itself.
That's true. He did have that nice bit at the beginning with Golden Boy, but you're right that, I don't know, maybe my feelings will be different when we get to ratings, but everyone does have a pretty solid arc, at least up to this point.
But it's just like set up so perfectly, and we're only halfway in the episode. I'm really feeling this episode. I'm digging it.
Well, we cut over to Rockaway Beach, and Kramer's right there in the sand, taking a swing, looks out at the horizon, and then realizes the ball is still in the sand.
And he does that kind of Kramer flinch, it's goofy, and he's like, oh, there it is.
Do you know what I'm talking about when he bends down like that? I feel like we see that a lot, and it's so funny when Michael does that. Love that.
He's that gangly fellow.
Ghastly man.
This scene was filmed at the Pacific Palisades in California at the Will Rogers National Park.
Right. So this episode takes place, somewhere between December and February. I think it would be pretty cold on that Rockaway Beach. But so we cut over to Jerry's apartment, and George is complaining to Jerry about how uncomfortable he is with this Diane DeCon marine biologist situation. You alluded to this earlier, Vinny. It's one thing if George makes it up, but since Jerry set this all up, he's kind of struggling with that. He even blames Jerry for putting him in the Galapagos Islands. But, to be fair, George was the one that came up with the Galapagos Islands.
Why couldn't Jerry just make George an architect? He always wanted to pretend to be an architect.
Well, regardless, George is thinking of just telling Diane the truth. Maybe she likes him for him. I feel like George telling the truth never works out for him, so why do it?
Well, the truth or the opposite of his instinct, are those exclusive?
Sometimes they overlap. That's true.
Okay.
That's true. But I'm thinking of the truth.
You want the truth? It is your earring. Yeah, that doesn't work.
That or remember with Cheryl Fong actually telling her
dark, disturbed, and depressed and inadequate.
Mm-hmm. So
please don't call me.
Kramer enters, and here's that another moment you alluded to earlier. Starts kicking the golf bag. He stinks. He only hit one ball on his entire trip to Rockaway, and it went way out there. Wonder what the problem is.
He's got no concentration. Plus the sand. He's got it everywhere. There's in his pocket.
Oh, man.
Which is quite similar to the finale when Kramer gets the water in his ear. He's hopping all over the place.
That's a good point. Yeah, in this scene, he's got like sand in his hair, on his arms. There's a ton in his pocket.
Oh man, when he pulls it out of his pocket, sand goes everywhere, and then it's like in true Kramer fashion, he manages to get it into his eye, and he's twitching and flopping, and then he falls out of his chair onto the floor. We say this all the time, but it's a comedic masterpiece. This guy.
Like how you go from just sitting in a chair to falling on the ground because of sand. Doesn't he also have an issue with like showering? Like he comes into Jerry's apartment and there's lather running down his leg.
That's true. He doesn't know how to. Well, because he did baths, and then he tries to do showers. He doesn't know how to do them.
He's got some problems.
Yep.
Well, the phone rings and George does this amazing throw to Jerry. It's so casual how they do something like this.
Phone rings. George picks it up without even looking, tosses it in the air. Jerry catches it. Hello.
I wonder who came up with that. Such a skillful move.
It's not in the script. It's just something they did on set. And again, all things are clicking in this episode. Everything is flowing. The story, the physical bits. Another example.
Well, some woman found an electronic organizer, and Jerry's name was in it. She wants him to help her track down the owner, especially because she was walking down the street, and it hit her in the head. We get an act break, and we come back. Jerry is at Monk's with this woman who called him earlier. They're having some coffee, and her name, Corinne, right?
Oh, yeah.
He is hearing her story.
I am walking along, minding my own business, when all of a sudden this thing comes flying out of nowhere and clonks me right on the head.
Wow.
Yeah, so they took me to the hospital.
Yeah?
Yeah, and they put me in this thing that feels like a coffin for 45 minutes. You ever been in one of those things? You could go berserk in there.
Well, you have insurance.
I wish.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
What is with this thing?
I don't know. It never shuts up. So anyway, you could see why I would be interested in finding this person.
Absolutely. You should not have to pay for that.
Stop it! Stop it!
Let me have a look at this thing.
You know, somebody told me they thought they saw that thing come out of a limousine.
Typical rich people using the world for their personal garbage can.
Boy, am I lucky your name came up. I just pushed a button.
I would like to know what my name's doing in this creep's organizer to begin with.
Yeah.
Who do I know who would have even been in a limousine yesterday?
I love Carol Kane.
Yeah.
I love her voice. I love everything about it. Her delivery. That accent is so authentic. Carol Kane, of course, plays Corinne. She was in Dog Day Afternoon, Annie Hall. She was in the Muppet movie in 1977. She was in Taxi for 25 episodes. Transylvania 65000, which also starred Michael Richards. She was in one of my favorite movies of all time, The Princess Bride. She played Valerie, who was married to Billy Crystal's character, Miracle Max. She was in
We do quote those characters quite a bit.
Oh yeah, Humperdinck. She was also in Scrooged, My Blue Heaven, Addams Family Values, which I forget she played the grandmother.
Yeah, she was the second grandma.
Yeah, and more recently she's been in Gotham. Yeah. As a recurring character, as well as Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
I rarely check out IMDb credits for guest stars. That's usually your job. But I was surprised to find out she was in Kimmy Schmidt, the past and the upcoming season.
Yeah, she's going to be in the new season. Yep, she's a regular. She's her neighbor. And she actually allows Kimmy to live with her, too. It's a good show.
Yeah.
One other actress who auditioned for the role of Corinne was Cheryl Lee, who was on Twin Peaks.
Cheryl Lee played the iconic body of Laura Palmer.
She's one of the Peaks.
Oh my God.
I don't know Twin Peaks, so
I hate you so much.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, for anyone around the early 90s or even recently who've been watching Twin Peaks, Cheryl Lee played Laura Palmer, whose body is found in the pilot episode, and that's what the whole show is based around, finding out who killed her. So shout out to Paul Elliott, one of our listeners, who has sent us several emails. He's getting really excited whenever a Seinfeld actor shows up on Twin Peaks during his rewatch. And you've got, of course, Warren Frost is a regular on Twin Peaks. He played Mr. Ross.
I didn't care for his jokes.
Mrs. Ross, Grace Zabriskie, plays Laura Palmer's mother on Twin Peaks. A few other regulars that just come to mind. Ian Abercrombie, Mr. Pitt. I know he shows up on Twin Peaks. Spoilers, sorry, Paul. I don't mean to spoil any upcoming episodes, but he also did share that Brenda Strong, Sue Ellen Mishke, is also on Twin Peaks.
Oh man, I might have to start watching this show.
Mm-hmm. And
I like what I'm hearing from Paul. I like his enthusiasm.
Well, I've got two more, and there might be a lot more actors out there because, Twin Peaks, early 90s, Seinfeld, early 90s, but I know that Mabel Choate is on Twin Peaks. She was also in the movie, as is the Cable Plaza guy. Yeah, the character on Twin Peaks is Jacques. Does he have a name?
I think it's Nick.
Nick. He's the guy that's trying to get Kramer to let him into his apartment. So, that'd be kind of a cool, I don't know, tracking. Maybe Paul can help us out here. Anytime a Seinfeld actor shows up, let us know. Something about this Corinne scene, if we can get back to it real quick. Carol Kane, fantastic, right? I mean, we love her. She feels a little off, right?
She's a little bit of an odd duck with her. You go berserk in there,
Yeah, and it's so weird that Jerry is really, giving his time and helping her. And maybe he really wasn't planning on giving her that much of his energy until he found out or made the connection between the organizer and Elaine. But this seems to be kind of like a charity case for Jerry.
See, well, I thought we're gonna learn that Jerry may have a thing for her, right? And that's eventually why he is willing to help her.
You think that, really?
Well, because Elaine even says, "Why are you so interested in this? You got a thing for her?" Which I think, in Jerry's mind, well, she is a woman. I thought that was why Jerry went to these lengths to get the organizer back for her.
Wow, that's really interesting.
Or for Elaine.
That's interesting. You think that? That never once crossed my mind at all. I don't really have like a good theory as to why he's helping her, other than there's that Superman parallel or comparison. I think Jerry just likes maybe being noble every once in a while. I mean, that to me,
I'm not buying it.
I buy that more than him. And no offense to Carol Kane, it's more her character. Him being attracted to someone like Corinne.
Don't you say that?
Well, who Corinne I think would go with would be
Kramer.
Fred Yerkes. No, Fred Yerkes from The Secret Code.
Yeah.
Just like how she's like talking to herself.
Freddie, go back to dinner. Yeah. Yeah, I guess you're right.
But Kramer too, though. You're right. A little eccentric. I
still contend that Jerry wanted to date her.
Well, one of our listeners, Alton, sent in an email. He loves this episode, but he's a little frustrated with two plot points. One of them being why Jerry is helping Corinne. I just want to read the email real quick. He says, I really don't get the Corinne character and why Jerry is so into helping her. He makes the Superman joke when Elaine asks why he's doing it, but he still doesn't answer the question. Is he really attracted to her? They made the character purposefully annoying, so it seems odd that he would like her. I feel like they messed this up somehow. Maybe between drafts, they tried to make her funnier, but didn't change Jerry's motivations.
That's really insightful, actually. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, we should probably.
All right, forget what we just said. Let's go with his. Can we delete all that?
Well, I mean, I think that Alton brings up some good points here. Maybe there was more to the script that had to be shelved because of the George monologue at the end, taking up so much time.
Perhaps. Yeah, she does walk this fine line of being nutty and then kind of being charming. She's like, so you could understand how I'd like to get this, the contact information of this guy so she can pay her bills. She's weaving in and out of crazy and normal.
I find her really cute at the hotel in the lobby later. I think she's, I don't know. There's something about her that's very cute when she arrives with her with the organizer. But here,
well, in her defense, she did just have trauma to her head, so she's not herself.
Yeah. It sounds like we had some trauma to our head too, the way we
every week.
Yeah, all right. Well, I'm sure we'll talk about Corinne a little bit more at the end of the episode. Let's move on to Jerry's apartment, or at least, the hallway. Elaine knocks on Kramer's door, and, she complains about that crappy organizer he gave her, how Testikov threw it out the window when it wouldn't stop beeping. Even worse, it had everything in it. She threw out all of her old contact info, her old planner. She's lost now.
I like that line that she says, I'm lost now, Kramer. That's a really cute line.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Kramer is having a rough time himself, trying to get all the sand off of him.
There's a yelp that he makes in that scene.
Well, meanwhile, Jerry shows up, and he and Elaine go into his place, and she lays into him about war. What is it good for? Especially because she mentioned it to Yuri Testikov, the Russian writer. Hello. And do you know what happened?
Can I take a guess?
Please.
Oh, I don't know. He threw your organizer out the window.
What? How do you know that?
Before we proceed, I'm going to take this moment to talk about one of the few Elaine lines that I don't like. And it's the Yuri Testikov, the Russian writer, hello.
Oh.
I don't like the hello. Maybe I'm nitpicking here, but it just seems like a really cornball early 90s sitcom line to me. I don't know.
This scene really feels, as we love to say, sitcom-y, because there's a lot of back and forth here, a lot of setup. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of substance here.
I just don't like this one line. But
I'm taking it one step further. Jerry tells her all about Corinne getting hit in the head. Problem is she's not returning the organizer until she gets money back from the hospital bill. Turns out Testikov is getting $1 million from Pendant for the book.
Well, that's a start.
Yeah. So I guess basically, so Corinne got hit in the head. She went to the hospital. She didn't have money to pay for the treatment. She is basically holding the organizer hostage until she can find the owner and hold them accountable for the bills.
Correct. One other thing I'd like to ask you, Matt, is this war, what is it good for? What?
Oh, man. It just sounded like you just fell off at the end of that. I want to ask you about this war. What is it good for? It is a late night record, in case anyone can't know.
One other thing I want to ask you about, Matt, is this war, what is it good for joke that Jerry played on Elaine. I would imagine Testikov would have never heard of this song.
What is it good for?
Yeah. Do you think he would have been offended? Like, why was it such a big deal that Elaine brought that up? Because if you think of it not as the song, but just as a statement, war, what is it good for?
Sorry.
That seems like just an alternate title for War and Peace.
Right.
So I don't see why it's such a big deal. Because we know the song, so we see that it's embarrassing for Elaine, and Lippman's telling her not to do it. But I doubt this hardcore Russian dude has no idea what's going on with 70s music.
Yeah, I think Elaine is just embarrassed more than anything that she said something so completely false, in front of this guy. But it's funny looking back. If Testikov didn't get pissed off about the organizer, how would that scene have gone? Would he have just sort of been confused, and Lippman would sort of take over and be like, just ignore her?
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like the war, what is it good for? That's behind her. Now it's all about this organizer.
Agreed.
So we're at the beach, and George's day date is going well. He's going on about octopi,
whatever,
nostrils. He does suggest, hey, let's talk about other things like
architecture.
Yeah, why not? Let's jump forward a bit here too. As they continue walking, they see kind of like a crowd of people gathering. And we'll put a pin in it there and jump over to the Dorian Hotel.
I'm so excited seeing this crowd of people for what is about to happen. It's coming, and there's one line that I'm waiting to hear.
Oh yeah,
I cannot wait.
I decided to push it to the end so it's all lumped together.
I know. I'm just saying.
So we're over at the Dorian Hotel, and I'd really like to know what hotel exterior this really is. Mm-hmm. If anyone has any insight, please let us know. The name, not marquee, but the sign out front was added in post, which I never picked up on. It's very very subtle.
Clever girl.
But Jerry and Elaine are in the hotel lobby waiting for Corinne to arrive. And here we go, returning to your point and to Alton's point. Elaine harasses Jerry a little bit, wants to know, hey, what's your angle for helping this woman? Is he going to ask her out or not?
Hey, every time Superman helps someone, nobody asks if he's trying to hit on her.
Well, you're not Superman.
Well, you're not Lois Lane.
I think you and Alton might be leaning more towards there was a relationship angle between Jerry and Corinne. I'm still sticking with Jerry just trying to do the noble thing. It's not as extreme as him, giving his time to Sid Fields, taking care of an old man.
Mm-hmm.
He's just helping Corinne out, and I think he's even more motivated to help her out because Elaine is involved. Maybe we'll agree to disagree on this one. So the plan is, while Elaine is picking up a manuscript from Testikov, she's going to use Jerry's tape recorder that he got from the bank.
Ah, that's why the tape recorder was mentioned earlier.
And get Testikov on tape admitting that he threw the organizer out the window. And then what? Like, what is the goal here? Is this? It's not blackmail. It's not extortion. Is it just leverage to get money?
I suppose.
Yeah. What is the term you use here?
It's kind of flimsy.
A little bit. Corinne arrives with the organizer, and Jerry head up with it. They hope to return in 10 minutes, quote unquote, with the money.
So, okay, let's stop right there. They're going to record this guy in the act of admitting, yes, I threw organizer.
All right, now give me everything you got.
Very good. And then they're going to play back the tape for him and say, give me some money.
You're busted.
And then they're going to bring it, like, I know we're moving the story along. It's just, I don't buy it.
Well, I want to refer back to Alton's email. He has a second point here. What exactly is Jerry and Elaine's plan when they confront Testikov? Elaine says she wants to get him on tape, but Jerry also tells Corinne that they will hopefully be down with the money. So did they really think they could get him not to just admit to throwing it, but also to fork over some cash? It never made total sense to me. Also, where does the storyline end?
He's got nothing.
We're getting ahead of ourselves. The tape recorder hit Corinne on the head. Who had to pay? Was there maybe more to the storyline that was cut? I think these are questions we should be asking moving forward here. I think it's safe to assume they were hoping just to get money from Testikov from his hotel room. It's right there in the dialogue, which is really flimsy. Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. So Jerry and Elaine head upstairs to Testikov's room, and there's kind of a weird goof here, right? Elaine said earlier that he's in room 308, right?
Correct.
Yet when they get to his hotel and like that very nervous, paranoid Testikov opens it, what does it say on the door?
507.
So
something's not right here.
Yeah, something's missing. It might be a nitpick, but I just wonder why they didn't fix this in post, because when we hear that it's 308, it's an exterior of the hotel.
So why not just have Elaine hop in the recording booth and say 507?
Right. Always seemed kind of weird, right?
Yeah, not a fan of that.
Anyways, Testikov, has Elaine and Jerry come in. Come in, Miss Bennis. I'm not going to butcher this anymore, but I just love the Testikov dialogue here. Like, he's so pushy, with his, like, opinion. Like, oh, he's the Americans with the sneakers, always running from something.
That's true.
It's like, what the f*** are you talking about? Like, I mean, I imagine being in the gulag really, messed with his head and a lot of trauma there, but what's going on with this guy?
He's got some problems.
Yeah. This is the stuff that really reminds me of Alton Bennis. Jerry and Elaine sitting there, kind of awkward.
He's just got a puss on his face, and there's nothing you can say to change it.
It tries to compliment him, his work. Remember Fair Game with George? Jerry picks up Rimsky. Hey, that was great. Great book.
Great book, if I may say so, sir. I almost read the whole thing. Again, that's a smart-ass comment to make to a writer,
It seems like Yuri Testikov, I mean, he is downing quite a bit of vodka in the back. Maybe these comments are going over his head. Who knows? Meanwhile, down in the lobby, we get a familiar face.
David Blackwood comes back in his 6th of 7 appearances, this time as the hotel clerk. Crowell.
Mimsy. He's shown up in the robbery, the apartment, the nose job, the Cheever Letters, the handicap spot, and now the Marine Biologist. He's about to finish up with the gymnast. I think that's next season, though. So David Blackwood is one of these actors who has been with us since season 1. These brief roles every season pretty much. I'm dying to find out who this guy is. So if anyone knows David Blackwood.
Does he have a Twitter?
No. Oh, God, no. He stopped acting, I think, back in the, I want to say, like, mid-90s.
I think Seinfeld was his last acting credit, if I recall.
Yeah, I want to just know more about this guy, where he came from.
I'd love to pick his brain,
Yeah, how he came back so many times. Another question for Larry David when we have our
add it to the list.
Our interview with him.
Anita Boku.
So we've got.
Do you remember there was a drink growing up called Boku? It was in a carton. Richard Lewis was the spokesman.
Oh yeah.
And it was a white box and it had green and like purple writing or colors on it, and it had like a silver tearaway film, and that's how you got it the drink. It was a delicious fruity drink, and I loved it. But I always remember Richard Lewis, who is best friends with Larry David, saying, "I need a Boku." He's doing his Richard Lewis shtick where he's always, clutching his forehead. I need a Boku. But
you have not mentioned I need a Boku since college.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when we used to watch Curb, you used to say that all the time.
Good drink.
I'll try to find the commercial on YouTube.
It's a popular drink.
Well, moving on to we've got 2 clips here back to back, and we're gonna skip the brief beach scene, and we're gonna combine the Corinne clip with the second Testikov clip here.
What?
If you can't turn that thing off, I'll have to ask you to leave.
I'm waiting for 2 people.
Well, you can wait for them outside.
Yeah, I guess I'd better. I wouldn't want to take any attention away from the hookers.
All right. Out.
Whatever you say, Crowell.
Here is the latest draft. I see you next week. Same time, same day. On time, please.
It was nice meeting you. You're a real pleasure.
Yeah.
By the way, Mr. Testikov, do you remember the other day when we were in the limo and my organizer started making noise and you threw it out the window?
How can I forget?
Well, would you believe that it actually hit somebody in the head?
Right in the head.
Boing.
What is that noise?
That's nothing. And anyway,
What's going on, huh? That noise!
No, that's my purse.
That noise!
No, get off my purse!
It's recorder!
No, that's radio!
You are spying on me!
Carol Kane's line readings, again, incredible. Accent, it's fabulous.
Should we say R.I.P. Corinne, or...
Is she dead?
Oh, the recorder does fall on her head, presumably, right?
True.
We never find out what happens to her. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
I'm sure she survived.
Okay.
Oh, and then going back to Testikov, he throws an organizer out of a limo, and then he throws a tape recorder out of a window several floors up.
What's with this guy?
As soon as he gets pissed, he just chucks things like that. Well, yeah, exactly. What is with this guy?
That's what they do in Russia, Vinny.
Russia, nation of throwing.
See, you should be doing the Testikov voice. What am I doing here?
Also, isn't it weird to see Corinne smoking in the hotel lobby? Doesn't that kind of date the show? Because now they can't smoke in a... Come on, that's
a good observation.
That dates the show, man.
If it were 2015, she'd be vaping.
That's good.
Yeah. Well, you did point out how great her line readings are, especially Crowell.
Oh, man. If there's a line that we always like to quote, that's one of them.
All right. I've said a lot of dumb things tonight. Add one to the list. I did not realize this guy's name was Crowell.
What'd you think it was?
I just thought it was some weird, either like Russian or made up thing that Corinne says to him. Crowell.
Really?
Yeah. Like I thought it was either some like fascist or some dictator from the past that she was like, nicknaming him. Like if you were to call someone Hitler or something like that, or Mussolini.
It's written on his name tag.
I don't look at his name tag.
It's right there.
All right. Well, moving on. I do love Jerry's line. It was nice meeting you. You're a real pleasure. I've dropped that in real life many times.
I've been there when you've dropped said line.
Sarcastic Jerry is the best. And the last beat of that scene, as the recorder falls on Corinne, we cut over to Kramer's apartment. A nice little comedy short here. You could almost have that old-timey like Buster Keaton music playing. Kramer is like banging, the sand out of his boot as Newman is very jolly, walking down the sidewalk whistling. Yes. And the boot slips out of Kramer's hand, falls right onto Newman.
The one little shot we get of Newman, and he's getting conked in the head.
It is a very uncomfortable shot. His mouth is so huge.
You can see all the way down his GI tract. We should also point out this is the first time we've seen him since the barber, so his hair has grown back.
Good call. I like that.
He's got some fancy follicles, that Newman.
There was a deleted scene that I think we should bring up now since we're finally getting to Newman between the two of them, right?
All right.
Did you see this by any chance?
I did. Kramer is on his hands and knees in his apartment, and he's got his dust buster. And he's trying to get up. Yeah. He's trying to get up all the remaining sand in his apartment. And then Newman comes in and he's like, "You're still with the sand? You're going crazy?" And Newman just starts ranting and raving. And it's the equivalent of Kramer ripping up Jerry's phone number for that girl, and then Jerry is addicted to it. And he's,
"Look at you." Yeah.
Yeah, you're disgusting.
Absolutely.
What are you doing? Again with the sand? Stop it! Stop it! You're going crazy! There is no sand!
It's everywhere! It's everywhere!
That's it! I'm gonna call your mother.
Don't call my mother! Don't call her!
And really interesting at the end of that clip, Newman threatens to call Kramer's mother.
Yes, that's right.
And don't call my mother.
Yeah, which is cool because that kind of tracks that he hasn't spoken to his mother in 5 years.
Yeah. So interesting deleted scene. I don't know where that would have fallen. Probably before the boot scene at some point.
It seemed kind of over the top. So it kind of makes sense why. What am I saying?
A boot did fall on Newman.
Which also brings up another point. I remember Michael saying in one interview that he wasn't sure that was a good call because when would Kramer ever wear a boot? He never wears boots. He always wears those dress shoes, to slide in.
Yeah.
So, and if you actually look in the scene at the beach, I believe he is wearing his regular shoes, the black shoes with the white socks showing. But I think they made the conscious decision to have a boot fall out of the window so it would look more menacing, coming down on Newman's head.
Very similar to the air conditioner. Well, Vinny, we've finally come to the final scene here. We're at the beach.
I've been waiting 2 years to get to this moment. A crowd overlooks the ocean. There's commotion going on. They're worried about this beach whale. She's dying. Cue Larry David.
Is anyone here a marine biologist?
One of my favorite lines in the entire series. And I think watching Seinfeld, we didn't know who Larry David was. You just kind of knew about this voice, this gravelly, New York accented voice. Then we get Curb. We're like, that's Larry David. That's the guy who wrote and created Seinfeld. And then you go back and you hear this voice. This voice, and we got Steinbrenner later on, but this voice, this is one of those moments that I'm like, that's Larry David, But his delivery, there's nothing like it. You can't duplicate it. It's one of the best things about the show.
Outside of George Steinbrenner, I think this is the most iconic Larry line. You're right.
Yeah. A close number two would be, "I ordered the kosher meal 6 weeks ago. I forgot." But this one takes a cake.
Absolutely. And let's move on to the amazing performance by Jason Alexander.
Wait. Oh. I'm sorry. So I just was swooning over Larry David's delivery of that line. What precedes that line is this woman saying, "There's a beached whale. She's dying." She's credited as Woman at the Beach. Her name is Heather Morgan. Why am I bringing this up? Just when I thought we were out of double dippers on this show, we have a new contender emerging.
You double dipped the chip. Double dipped? What are you talking about?
She not only plays Woman at the Beach in The Marine Biologist, she also plays the server in the bookstore. And she is the one when Elaine is at her second Peterman party and she's having a really bad time. A server comes up to her and asks her, "Hey, if you are going to dance this year, can you let us know? Because the cooks missed it. They'd like to be brought out."
Oh, there you go.
Heather Morgan was also a writer on The Dana Carvey Show, and she was a story editor on The Comeback. The Lisa Kudrow Show.
Nice.
A couple of cool acting credits as well. She was in the Get Smart TV show in 1995. Dana Carvey Show, she also acted, as well as she starred in an episode of The Comeback.
Cool. We all know this scene. Diane looks at George.
Save the whale, George. For me.
And George, with his pant legs rolled up, his sleeves rolled up, marches into the water. And here we go, Vinny. Solid 24-karat Seinfeld gold.
So I started to walk into the water. I won't lie to you, boys. I was terrified. But I pressed on. And as I made my way past the breakers, a strange calm came over me. I don't know if it was divine intervention or the kinship of all living things, but I tell you, Jerry, at that moment, I was a marine biologist.
George, I've just been reading this thing in the paper. It's unbelievable.
I know, I was just telling them the story.
Well, come on, George, finish the story.
The sea was angry that day, my friends. Like an old man trying to send back soup in a deli. I got about 50 feet out, and suddenly, the great beast appeared before me. I tell you, he was 10 stories high if he was a foot. As if sensing my presence, he let out a great bellow. I said, "Easy, big fella." And then, as I watched him struggling, I realized that something was obstructing its breathing. From where I was standing, I could see directly into the eye of the great fish.
Mammal.
Whatever.
Hey, what did you do next?
Well, then, from out of nowhere, a huge tidal wave lifted me, tossed me like a cork, and I found myself right on top of him, face to face with the blowhole. I could barely see from the waves crashing down upon me, but I knew something was there. So I reached my hand in, felt around, and pulled out the obstruction.
What is that, a Titleist? A hole in one, huh?
This is one of those clips when there's nothing we can say to make the scene any better. It speaks for itself. It's just
Not intelligently.
Yeah, it's one of the all-time best Seinfeld scenes, without a doubt.
I would go on record as saying the best ending to an episode thus far in the series. Mm-hmm. And wow. So that's it. I'm done.
Now, you do have a favorite line from this scene, as you alluded to earlier, right?
Yes, I think my favorite line in the series is "The sea was angry that day, my friends," like an old man trying to send back soup in a deli.
Mm-hmm.
But I also like George's delivery of "Easy, big fella."
Yeah. If there was ever going to be a scene that would earn him that Emmy, which he never won,
oh yeah,
it would be this scene. It's not a line of dialogue, but it's a gesture, and it's something that only Jason could pull out. It's so graceful as he does it. He, reaches into his pocket, pulls out the golf ball, and he kind of has it hidden, but you can see what it is.
Yeah.
Through the hand, and then he presents it to Kramer. And that it's so graceful how he moves it into frame, and the look on his face. I still to this day can't figure out what George is trying to convey. Is he, "You idiot"? Is it, "I caught you"? Is it, "Can you believe this shit"? Is it?
I think it's all of that wrapped into one.
Mm-hmm.
He's got this it's a smirk, and his lips are kind of contorted in such a way, and he kind of wants to see how's Kramer's going to respond to this.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels like a 20-second gap of just applause and laughter before Kramer can even say his line.
Of course, yeah. Michael
milk in the moment.
Michael does a great job though, because how do you fill that not dead air? There's
that void.
Yeah, that void pretty much. Because Michael seemed to be the worst one at dealing with audience interruptions,
right?
And the timing and the pacing. But that look on his face, he's kind of ashamed. He's embarrassed. He's all of the above pretty much. And that voice crack, was a Titleist.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
And again, George gives a great reaction to say, "Oh yeah, you think so?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just solid. And As much as I love that Cheever Letters ending, I think I have to agree this is the superior ending, maybe the greatest Seinfeld ending ever, because of that length of laughter and how long it goes on. And I think Michael's little delivery of a hole-in-one, I mean, that is a perfect button on dovetailing those two plots together, right? But it's not over yet. We get a post-credits sequence.
There's more.
I wasn't going to play this, but I think it brilliantly ties everything together. It's a little shoehorned in at the end, but you were saying earlier how all these great subplots are set up 10 minutes in.
Yeah.
It's all kind of wrapped up quickly here, but it all is done efficiently, and I think it's very satisfying.
Well, the crowd must have gone wild.
Oh, yes. Yes, Jerry, they were all over me. It was like Rocky 1. Diane came up to me, threw her arms around me, kissed me. We both had tears streaming down our faces. I never saw anyone so beautiful. It was at that moment that I decided to tell her that I was not a marine biologist.
Wow. What did she say?
Told me to go to hell, and I took the bus home.
All right, let's go.
What, are you in a bad mood?
Got my laundry back.
Golden Boy?
He didn't make it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. This is Golden Boy's son, Baby Blue.
What's with you? Sand! It's everywhere!
Yep.
First of all, hell yeah, I got a Rocky reference in Seinfeld. That's like two of my favorite things coming together.
And I like how he says Rocky 1, too.
Yeah, he didn't just say Rocky 1. Go, George. I remember when I was, growing up watching this, I don't remember seeing this credit sequence until I got the DVDs and actually go back and watch them. I think because it was in syndication, this scene was probably cut. So it was a real treat for me when I heard George reference Rocky in a Seinfeld episode. That was huge.
Oh, yeah.
Secondly, you said, we had the end of the episode. George's story hits this incredible climax, and you kind of think to yourself, finally, George has something go his way. And then, nope, we're going to bring George right back down to reality where he belongs, and the credits, and you kind of see, she told me to go to hell, and I took the bus home. And
well, you're right. There are a lot of unresolved storylines this episode. You don't know what happened to Elaine. You don't know what happened to George, what happened to Corinne. So yeah, this is a nice little, I don't know, little something extra.
And it's just such a quick turn too. But yeah, depending on how you watch this episode, you could think George got the girl in the end. He got the fame. But no, he did not.
Well, because really that act, of going out there, fighting the whale, the waves, and pulling that out, that's an incredible feat. Whether you are or are not a marine biologist, it's just that one little mistake of actually deciding to tell her the truth.
Oh, and the unfortunate passing of...
That's really what we should be talking about this episode, remembering Golden Boy, all the joy he brought Jerry. And it's moments like that when you really want to open up your closet and take out your Golden Boy and just hold them close and just let them know how much you love them.
Golden Boy's death actually takes place in the shadow of New Light.
You're right. He's not really gone if we find a way to remember him. Golden Boy has a son.
Baby Blue.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
Star Trek 2?
Wrath of Khan.
Okay, let's go.
Get out of here.
I'm done.
So, what do you think?
All right, I think we can keep this short and sweet. Great episode, right? One of the all-time bests.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's really nothing to, I think, get in the way of putting this in our top 20, maybe even our top 10. But can we just at least either nitpick or talk about any issues we had with the episode?
Go ahead.
Not for the sake of nitpicking, but really during this rewatch, I realized how flimsy the plot is, especially with like Corinne and Jerry and Elaine. That really makes no sense, and there's no resolution to it at all.
Yeah.
I think it just goes to show how good the George storyline is in this episode, and a lot of other scenes that you can really overlook it. It doesn't matter at all. Doesn't factor into the enjoyment of this episode. It's just something that I wish was a little tighter. If it were, I think this would be a solid 10 and would arguably be the best episode of Seinfeld. But as a result, I'm only going to give it a slim 9.5 gulps out of 10.
I know we did touch on, little issues here. My biggest issue is that Elaine line. I don't know why I'm harping on that, but the hello, I don't like it. I want it gone.
6 out of 10.
Yeah. Worse than the old man. I'm sorry. I love this episode. This rewatch, I enjoyed it even more. This is a classic, quintessential Seinfeld episode. This is one of the ones you show your friends. The storyline you talked of being flimsy with Corinne, Jerry, and the tape recorder and everything. Yeah, it's a little flimsy, but I really don't think it detracts from the episode. I love everything about this episode. So, having said that, I'm going to give this 10 old men trying to send back soup in a deli out of 10.
Nice. Golds all around. Now, Vinny, I'll just ask, where does this fall in your top 20?
Golden boys all around. This does crack my top 20. I'm going to make this my number 7 episode. So, Cigar Store Indian, I'm sorry you're out of there. Oh, I'm so sad.
Oh, interesting. So this goes between your number 6, which is the Cheever Letters.
Correct.
And your number 8, the Bubble Boy. So really, are you... I mean, I'm kind of putting you on the spot here.
No.
Are you saying Cheever Letters has the better ending? Oh, boy.
No, see, this is why I don't like this. I just... If I had to
I'm sure
pick
a lot of
right now,
listeners agree with you.
I think if I had to pick between which episode I'd want to watch between the Cheever Letters and the Marine Biologist, it'd be a flip-flop.
Yeah.
So if you ask me this tomorrow, maybe it'd be my number 6. There's just so many damn good ones.
Yeah. Well, similar to you, Vinny, I'm going to put the Marine Biologist, in my top 10. I'm going to put it at my number 8. That's going to be putting it between the Contest at number 7 and the Implant at number 9, which, sadly, I have to say goodbye to the stall. It enjoyed its week.
Wow. Yeah, the stall didn't last too long, huh? Hunky Tony is out of there. All right, that's going to do it for us here on Seincast this week. I hope everybody had a happy Festivus.
And hope everyone has a very Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas.
Kiss my ass.
Kiss his ass.
Kiss your ass.
Happy Hanukkah.
And feel free to reach out to us on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, and Seincast@gmail.com.
Speaking of which, if anyone would like to send us an email with questions, theories, topics you want us to bring up about next week's episode, now is the time to do it. We'll pour through them all and try to bring up any of those emails during our discussion next week. Speaking of Vinny, what episode do we got?
Next week, we're tackling 2 races of flavor living side by side in harmony. It's a wonderful thing. The black and white. We're discussing the 14th episode of Season 5, The Dinner Party.
But for now, I'm Matt.
I'm Vinny.
Happy Festivus. Seincast is not endorsed by Castle Rock Entertainment, Sony Pictures, or NBC. It is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Seinfeld, the Seinfeld logo, and all names, pictures, and audio of Seinfeld characters are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of their respective trademark and copyright holders.
Processing. Processing.
I won.